What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my humble abode. Where do I begin today? I don't even know. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with what this video is about, right? Today's video, we are going to be talking about why I moved from my old apartment. Because I remember I did a community post, but I didn't really talk about, well, I did. I technically talked about it, but not everybody interact on the community post and stuff like that. But where do I start? Okay, I guess I'm gonna start anywhere, I think. Okay, so story time. Why I moved from my condo. Honestly, I didn't want to move, right? But I couldn't help it. You know how some people be like, you don't realize how much of American you are till you move to a whole different country and you're like, yeah, I see it now. But I'll start from here. One day I was doing my homework, right? And I happened to turn to the other side of the bed. And I see on my bed that there was these insects. I called them insects at that time because it looked like one. And I was like, where are these things coming from? Because I wash my sheets every weekend religiously. No cutting corners, nothing. So I was quite surprised to see them. And it wasn't just 1, 2, 3. It was a lot of them. I was like, where are these things coming from? I got goosebumps, my skin. And then I was like, nah, this is not good. So I took the bed and I started looking around to figure out what these things are, where are they coming from. I took a picture and I sent it to a friend of mine. She's quite very helpful. I'm thankful to have her. She sent a picture back to me and was like, girl, these are mites. I said, how did you know? She said, she sent me a picture and she sent her Google search. And I was like, yeah, they look like it. She's like, these are mites. And I said, well, how? Where are mites coming from? So I was like, girl, I cannot stay here. I cannot. That day I slept on the what's it called? On the couch. I said, I cannot sleep here because what do you mean there are mites? I'm living in mites. And me being me, I dived deeper. I was like, okay, where do they come from? What are the symptoms? What could they make bad? What could happen to me if I'm living in mites? And apparently they like living in your hair. And that time I had my folk locks on, and mind you, I naturally have locks. So the thought of these things being able to go live in my hair was scary to me. I immediately sent a picture to my agent and I sent a video to her and I said, hey, this is what I saw. I don't feel comfortable sleeping here. Can we please do something about it? She said, go buy insect spray. And I said, insect spray ain't finna do nothing about this. These things probably live somewhere. We need to figure out where they are living, and if we need to spray the whole apartment, we gotta do that. She came back to me and she was like, try that and let me see. I tried insect spray, didn't work. I was like, guys, we need to really do something about it. She was like, I'll let the landlord know about it. She let landlord know. She came back to me. She was like, well, I told the landlord. She said she can't do nothing about it. It's not their responsibility. I have to figure it out. And I said, well, I didn't bring these things here. They probably have been living here because I moved from the States here. I didn't bring these things here at all. I've never had encounter with the mites. This is my first time. So she's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I cannot help you because the building does not offer any pesticide sprays and stuff like that. And I said, well, you guys can't do that because in America, things like this, the building deals with it. It's not my responsibility. It's my responsibility to be clean. It's my responsibility to make sure I stay on top of cleaning my apartment and doing my laundry and making sure that things are in the same way I met it. But for you to say it's my responsibility to figure out what the problem is when I don't think I'm the one that caused it is quite unfair. So I sent her a message and I said, I don't feel comfortable living here if you guys are not even willing to help me figure out what the problem is. Now, I felt bad for my agent because it was not my agent's call. If it was her call, she would have helped me. But she said the landlord is not willing to, which is fine because I don't know. It's not fine, actually. It's not. Because my landlord has been cool, like, since I moved in. So I didn't understand why, even though I said in a group chat, like, this is the problem. I sent pictures, I sent videos, nobody's willing to help. And I was like, and I was starting to see the symptoms of being like sleeping in a place where it feels like it was a lot, because I was starting to get rashes on my stomach, and then my hair was getting extremely itchy. Now I don't know if I was imagining that these things were living in my hair, but my hair was feeling uncomfortable, so I actually took my hair out way before I was supposed to even take it out. So I had told my friend, girl, I think I'm gonna move. And she was like, yo, just wait and see what they will say. So I texted the agent back again. I was like, if you guys are not willing to do anything, I think I will have to start looking for a new place. The agent was like, if you think that's what's best for you, then do what's best for you. And I said, okay. But she warned me. She was like, if you do decide to move, you're going to lose your deposit. And my deposit was like 18,000 baht, which is about almost $500, or around 540. She's like, you're going to lose your deposit. And I was like, you know what, at this point, I don't care. If these things happen to live in my hair, that's going to cost me more than $500. So I might have to keep it moving. So I started looking for a new place. My friend had also started helping me look for a place. She told her boyfriend, who's Thai, to see if we could find a place in the same condominium that I was living at. So we were trying to find something in the same condo place that I was living at. I did find a place there. Agent came back to me the day I was supposed to view that apartment in the same building I was living at, actually, just different floors. The agent texted me 2 hours before my appointment that, hey, so there's a problem, so we just gave the apartment to somebody else. And I said, what do you mean? We had scheduled to look. And I was like, that's cool. So he said he have other 2 places, but he stopped talking to me. He ghosted me. And then the other 2 places that I had found, the agents never got back to me. So I was like, okay, it sounds like I'll have to move away from school. So then I heard of Region Banana. I was actually on Facebook testing all the agents and stuff like that. So that's when I found this place here, and I scheduled for appointment to tour. Now I say this to say that it wasn't a totally bad experience. I think it was the lack of people not wanting to meet me halfway, because if my agent or if my landlord was open to, like, okay, how about we split it or something, but in my head I feel like it's my landlord's responsibility to figure out where that specific problem is coming from. Where are these things coming from? Because they've got to be living somewhere. Because the first day I found these things and I saw them with my 2 naked eyes, I did my laundry and these things were back the next day. So they've got to be coming from something, they've got to be living somewhere. But I guess this was a lesson for me, definitely, that I don't know. Sometimes I'm not really scared to make mistakes in life, because I feel like mistakes are not failures. They are rather lessons for me to learn from. And I stop beating myself up if I make a mistake, because if you never make a mistake, then you'll never learn, right? There's so much mistakes I've made in the past that with those mistakes, I was able to teach myself a whole lot of different things. So is it fun losing your deposit? Not really. But I ended up with a nice apartment, so I can't really be mad, can I? But yeah, that's what made me. I'm scared of mites, man. I'm scared of the fact that they could live in my hair. Because of that, I've even been having the idea, should I shave my hair or something? Yeah, I've been getting that idea because I don't know. They traumatized me a little bit, but it's fine. It's life. It's life. I know. Yeah, but that's why I moved. I had to. I had to because I was not gonna negotiate about mites and take the responsibility to figure out to find somebody to come and spray the whole apartment. No, I didn't think it was my responsibility to do that. I at least thought owner will offer, but it's okay. It's life. Things happen. I've accepted the reality, and again, I was warned that if I do choose to move, I will lose my deposit. So it's not like I didn't know and I was caught by surprise. I knew what I was getting myself into. And before that, it was said in a contract way before that. So I definitely knew that that was the reality of things. So that's fine. It sucks, but it's okay. That means I'll have to stay here till my lease is over. I cannot move. Okay? If I move here too, then I'm the problem at that point. I told my friend, they helped me move here, and I told her, girl, if I moved here too, at that point, whatever reason I tell you that I'm moving, don't listen. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. Period. Point blank. So, yeah, that's the situation we were in, but it's okay. Our situation have changed. I'm happy with the apartment that I chose, and that's all that matters. But I'm gonna end the video here today. I hope that gives a little more clarity on what happened, and I hope this also helps somebody out there that here they don't play with the deposit, the possibility of you not getting back. So just keep that in mind. But I've learned my lesson, and I hope that also gives somebody an insight on what could possibly be something you don't have to experience, but you could learn from my experience. But I'm gonna end the video here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in maybe another vlog, but a way more fun than a sit down. Okay. Bye bye.